Hello and welcome back to the Wizards Arena. My name is Draymore, and today, my fellow Planeswalkers, we'll be talking about gold cards in the set of Zendikar Rising. We're going to talk about how they are on EDH. Our scale is 1 to 10. 1s means we should just throw them on a dumpster and set them on fire. And 10 are they are altering, warping the format, forever changing as we know it. Our first card of is Akira, the Fearless Voyager. Colors are red and a white, legendary core warrior. Really wish it was warrior ally. You know, allies got zilch love in this set. I understand from storyline why, but moving on. So it's 3 mana for 3/3. Whenever you attack a player with one or more equipped creature, draw a card. Spend a white, you may unattach equipment from a creature you control. If you do, tap that creature and it gains indestructible until end of turn. Okay, a couple things to talk about here. In a 4-person pod, if your red-white deck is got the melee commander and your whole idea is to go and smash multiple people at once, then you can use the red Minotaur Warrior for multiple combat tricks. Attack steps for all kinds of combat tricks. Really good. So if you're only going to attack one dude though, you get one draw, but there's no discard afterwards. It's just straight up draw a card. So if you can swing into 2 or 3 players, especially 3, you can maximize effect of drawing 3. So you get to ancestral yourself just by attacking. Boris has wanted something like this. The only way Boris can get any better is if you give something insane, like just straight up draw X cards, like for the number of equipment you control or something. Don't see that happening anytime soon, but its second paragraph is spend a white, take an equipment off of it, and then you tap it and it gets to be indestructible. So if, for example, my opponent casts Wrath of God, I spend 3 white mana, unattach all my equipment for my 3 guys, and then 1 or 2 of my guys don't have equipment on them. All of the other guys die. I got 3 guys that live, and then I have to spend some mana next turn to equip stuff. But everybody will be open for the ability, so that's sweet as hell. So he has quasi protection for your board from mass wipeout effects, which again is something red and white really needed. So that's cool. So you got that, the Fairy's protection, this card's doing a lot of lifting. I give it a 7. It's not the most ridiculous card I've ever seen, but it's really what red and white wanted. But you obviously wouldn't put this in every deck. You wouldn't put in Jessica, because then you have blue, so you've got the card draw there. So that's why it's only a 7. Moving on to our next card. Kamala, the Sky Cleave and Ravager. Colorless, a black and a green for 0/0. Comes into play with 3 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever another creature you control dies, if it had a +1/+1 counter on it, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. Whenever he dies, create an XX black and green Hydra counter, creature counter. And the token will have power and toughness equal to how big this guy was. So if he was a 5/5, he makes a 5/5. We've had similar effects like this in black-green before. There's a lot of +1/+1 shenanigans in this set. It seems like the sub-theme here. Overall, like him a lot. Really good card. I don't think he'll be used much as a commander, especially the new Sultai Hydra we got when we went to Ixalan in Commander 2020. He'll probably just be 1 to 99. But, he's not terrible. He's a 4. He's okay. Moving on to our next guy. Craza, the Royal Chaser. Blue and a red, flying hasted wizard, human, 1/2. Tap, the next instance or sorcery spell you cast this turn Costs X less, where X is the number of wizards you control, as the ability on the stack resolves. Yeah. Basically, you're telling me blue-red, wizard, tribal, spell-slinging shenanigans. It's a 2. It's very, very specific. Its ability is very, very limited. It's just okay. Our next guy. Levana, Shield of the Sea Gate. Colorless, a white and a blue. Flying 3/3. Beginning of combat on your turn. If you have a full party, choose target non-land permanent opponent controls. Until your next turn, you can't attack or block or activate abilities. Okay. And then you can sack her to give your board hexproof or indestructible. For creatures you control till end of turn. So it's a selfless spirit that has more stuff going on. It's got more options. And then for a blue, they staple on a sweet party mechanic. But it's got to be a full party, of course. It's, you know, I feel like it's going to be played a lot. So it's going to get slotted in a white INCB, and it's a 7. It's going to go in spirit decks. Maybe if there is a white-blue angel deck, wizard decks that are white-blue, white-blue decks in general, the white-blue-red spirit Jeskai deck. Lots of good places for it. Like it a lot. I don't know if the party deck is going to do a thing yet. Probably not. Because the payoff for the party commander is not that big of a deal. It's okay. But I don't see her being a commander. I mean, I guess she could be. But she's really good. I like her a lot. Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients. Seems like every time we see Nahiri, she's coming to gas and be amazing. 2, a red and a white. So what's weird about this Planeswalker is she has no ultimate that, like, you have to get a billion counters on her. +1, you make a 1/1 warrior, core warrior, token. Then attach an equipment to it. Oh, that's pretty sweet. -2, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a warrior or an equipment from them, put it in your hand, put the rest on the bottom in a random order. I'm happy we're staying consistent with random order or made up order. And then -3, she does X damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to twice the number of equipment you control. I like her. She's really good, really solid, 4 mana, 4 loyalty. Has 3 abilities you can do right out of the gate. So she is going to get an 8. I love her. Love her, love her, love her. She is going to be pretty cool. Especially since red, white's the equipment colors, and there's a new equipment commander. You know, she's going to be used a lot. Nissa of Shadow Bogs. 2, a black and a green for a 4 loyalty walker. That again is really weird. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a loyalty counter on her. Well, she's green, of course. With expiration being reprinted. And we got Burgeoning. And we got Cultivate and all these other green ramp spells. She can get a lot of loyalty. Now, our next ability here is +1, untap a land. Becomes a 3/3 elemental with haste and menace. Till end of turn, it's still a land. Don't see you doing that too much. I really feel like she's going to shine with a her third ability, her second ability here, that's minus. Minus 5. Put a creature card with CMC equal to or less than the number of lands you control from the graveyard onto the battlefield, and you put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. But then I noticed it says your hand also, which makes it even better. So if there's nothing in your yard, you can even do her ability and just still jam a big thing out. She's really cool. You have a potential when you resolve her just to use her ability. It's like cast her for 4, play a land, put a counter on her, -5 killer, put a thing out that costs 5 or less, or play a thing from hand that's 5 or less, which is less than optimal. You know, it's okay. I really like her a lot. You know, she's doing a lot of different things. She's really good for her colors. I also see her going in not just Golgari, but also she could go in Sultai. She could go in Abzan. She can go in Gave. Like, there's a lot of different places for her. She gets an 8. She's really good. Like her lots. Our next person is Omnith, Locus of Creation. Incoming wall text here, guys. White, blue, red, green. 4/4. Elemental. Enters the battlefield, draw a card. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under control, you gain 4 life if it's the first land. If it's the second land, add his CMC to your mana pool. If it's the third land, deal 4 damage to each opponent and each walker you don't control. With the 6 cost Ancient Elemental we saw in green that can double the triggers whenever a land comes into play, and being a commander card, we have access to so many other cards and different ramp spells and all these duels. You know, he's a total viable commander. You can get double triggers and do like 8 to each of your opponents in every planeswalker you don't control. Like, there is just so much stuff here he does. Like, he's going to be his own dude. Like, he's going to get the same ranking he got in the last video for Standard talking about him. 10. He is the best card in this set. Hands down. He's doing it all. He's not going to totally generate the format, but he's going to get played like crazy. Love him. I got a feeling if we ever go back to Zendikar for a return, that he's going to become a black, have all 5 colors, and then there's probably going to see allies come back and team up to kill Omnith because he's just out of control, blowing everything up. But this guy, he's great. You're going to build around him every day of the week. You can play him in a deck too, if you really want to play in like Horde of Notions for whatever weird reason. He's got so many upsides. I love it. He has 4 abilities, 4 mana, 4/4. Like, great, perfect, touchdown. Love it. Next one is Aura, the Sky Cleave. Keep a front 2, a white and a black for a 3/3 lifelink and core cleric. When he or another cleric you control dies, return a cleric from yard with converted mana cost less than the one that died. They were smart, not equal to and less than, just less than. They were smart. He's good. I like him a lot. He's a 7. Make a cleric deck around him. He's just really, really solid. Maybe Alia will go in him. Just a nice cleric deck. And we're moving on. Oops. Boop. Phalanx, the word Sculptor. It's 4 red and a green for a 5/5. When he enters the battlefield, create a 0/1 green plant creature token for each basic land you control. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put 4 +1/+1 counters on a plant you control. Had to wet myself. So, he's cool, but if you want to do red-green landfall, just play red-green Omnath. It's a better commander. It's a little more mana intensive. But, he's okay. You can definitely run him in Omnath. That'll be fun, because then you get multiple triggers of making elemental tokens and, buffing your plans. So, he's not horrible. He's pretty cool. He's solid. Solid as a rock. Haha, he's made out of rocks. He gets a 5. I'm here all day, folks. With all the jokes. Our next guy, is Relas the Split Curtain. X, green, blue, 0/0. Enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each mana spent to cast it. So, that's a little weird wording, but what it's saying is if you spend 4 on X, a green and a blue, he gets 6 counters. And that's really cool. I wish they would do that with more Hydras going forward. Now, his second paragraph, hold on to your butts. Whenever you cast a kick spell, you may remove 2 +1/+1 counters from him. If you do, copy the spell. And you get to, of course, choose new targets for the spell. And it lets you copy permanents. If you do copy a permanent, make a token. Now, I like him a lot. Do I like him enough to be a commander? Yeah, I can see you doing it. What I really, really wish if it said down here, spend, a red and a green to give trample, or a red and a white to give flying, or, a red and a blue to give her flying, or, spend, 2 black, 2 white, and give it death touch, something so we weren't limited to green, blue. That's what really holds him back. The ability wouldn't have to be crazy good. You spend 2 white, 2 red, he gets first strike. Sure, whatever. That way he has a 4-color commander. That's the big thing that's holding him back. And because of that, even though he's got a really cool ability, he's only a 4. He wishes he was better. He's not better. He's okay. And I'm saddened by that. I was really looking forward to him. I liked a lot of things about him, but then I saw he was only green-blue, and I got really sad. Our next card is Yeshana, the Impactful Earth. 2, a green, a white, elemental piggy, 4/4. Enters the battlefield, find basic forests and the basic plains, show people them, put into hand, and shuffle your deck. Okay, that's pretty good. You get 2 lands on a 4/4 body for 4 mana. That's Sky Shroud Claim on a body, so they don't go into play. That's fine. Players can't pay life or sacrifice non-land permanents to cast spell or activate abilities. Well, that's really good too. I don't think you're going to use him as a commander. You might, The whole idea is to be white-green hate deck. He is an elemental. He can jump in Omnath's deck and party with Omnath. Get an Omnath 2 lands with double triggers, Really good. So I think what he's going to be is just simply a 7. He's going to just chill out on his own, be a 99. But he's a great value for the 99. I love this pig. You know, it's not a boar. He's a elemental piggy. Call him a piggy. That's what he is. Love him. Really looking forward. I got several decks I want to jam him into. As you'll see in my deck text, they're coming. Next card is Zagras, Thief of Heartbeats. Oh, baby. 4 a black and a red. This spell costs 1 less for each creature in your party. Okay. Keep that in mind when we get to talking about him. He has Flying, Death Touch, and Haste. Other creatures you control also get Death Touch, and whenever a creature with Death Touch hits a planeswalker, destroy it. Well, geez, that's a bunch of key words. Okay, let's break him down. A really cool black-red vampire. And I know we got warriors and clerics, you know, and rogues and vampires. Not too many wizards I can think of offhand. So we'll be nice and say he'll usually cost you 4 mana. Whoa, that's really sweet, because, you know, you're losing 2 for the party. 4 mana for a 4/4 Flying, Death Touch, Hasted. That's awesome. And he gives your whole board Death Touching. Well, that's awesome as heck. And then you can put in a lot of things that are like, oh, if you hit the opponent, this happens or that happens. He's also great to slot into Edgar Malkav as one of the 99. He's, you know, he is just doing a lot of things. He is awesome. He's hating on the walkers. It's going to be hard for them to, you know, you're going to smack him a couple times with him. So if you pump up his power, he's going to, you know, do a lot of commander damage. He gets an 8. He is a truck. He's coming to wreck walkers, take names, and, you know, it's just going to be, he's going to be seeing a lot of play, him and Omnith. Our next guy is Xerath and the Trickster. 3, a blue and a black. Flash for 4, spend 4, return an unblock attack and a rogue. You can draw to Ono's hand. Put him on the battlefield, tap and attacking. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you may put target permanent card from that player's yard into the battlefield under your control. Okay, this is better than Drana, because you choose what you're taking. And the cool thing is after blocking has been declared, you basically have quasi-ninjutsu without the keyword. I can see the ninjutsu decks, put him in there. I can see him in a rogue deck, a merfolk deck. I don't see him as the one of the 99 though. He's solid. You know, but he's very situational. So as a result, he gets 4. If he, you know, the big advantage of you being able to choose the permanent helps out a lot. Otherwise, I think it'd be like a 2. Our next card is Spoils of Adventure. 4 a white and a blue. This costs 1 less for every member of your party. Gain 3 life. Draw 3 cards. This officially gets the if party is a thing, which I really don't think it will be, but if it is a thing, this will be in the party deck. It would be a 5, because being 2 less to, you know, gain 3 life, draw 3 cards for 4 mana is pretty good. You know, it's an okay uncommon. The next uncommon I feel is worth talking about is the Soaring Thought Thief, blue and a black 1/3 flash flyer. As long as your opponent has 8 or more cards in their yard, rogues you control get +1/+0. Whenever 1 or more rogues you control attacks, each opponent mills 2. I see him going in a mill deck. You know, he's okay. Nothing super impressive here. It's just solid. You know, it seems to be my score for solid cards are 5. It's okay. And our last card, Clerics of Life Bond. White and a black for 2/2. Whenever another cleric enters the battlefield, gain a life. Whenever you gain your first life of the turn, put a +1/+1 counter on him. And he's a vampire also, so you can go in Edgar Malkov. You can go in clerics. You know, there's lots of different places from the slot into. He's the okay again. He's only a 5. Nothing super special about him. He's a solid little uncommon. Commons get a little bit of love when they do make the cut. My name's Draymore with the Wizards Arena. Please like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on the Facebook. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, if you could please do so, that would be greatly appreciated. I'm going to see you guys all in the next video, where we'll be wrapping up our review of Zendikar Rising EDH. And we are going to cover artifacts and land. And I'll see you all then. Have a great day.